Hey guys, it's Jeannie here with Jean Louise Bariatric Journey. Today is 1 week since I had my gastric bypass, and I've been feeling pretty good. Kind of surprising. I thought I would be sick. You hear those horror stories, but honestly, I haven't gotten sick once. I felt a little nauseous, but that was because I drank a little too fast. You gotta sip, sip, sip. That's what they tell you. And I kind of wanted to talk about a few things that have really helped me this week in getting my fluid intake, with getting my protein that I'm supposed to have, and kind of go over some things that I have found that I like. So, the first thing is the protein shakes. They're very important. You got to make sure you get them in, right? So everybody knows about the Premier shakes, and this one's open because this is my breakfast. But 30 grams of protein. Now, they do have some flavors, but they're kind of hard to find and they're kind of limited. So, and this is only 11 fluid ounces. So I have also found the Atkins ones. Now these are 16.9 fluid ounces, so they are a little bigger, so they do take a little bit longer to drink. But it's 23 grams of protein, you have your fiber, and these are really, really good. Nice to have some variety. They have a strawberry one that I really like. But so I usually have one of those for breakfast. It takes me a little bit to drink it. My stomach's only 4 ounces big right now. But on top of doing those, they have these Light and Fit Greek yogurts from Dannon. Now these are really good, and you have to watch. I've only found 2 so far, the strawberry cheesecake and the lemon, that do not actually have fruit pieces in them, because right now our bodies can't digest those fruit pieces, right? So we have to make sure there's not the fruit pieces in there. But these are really good because there is 12 grams of protein in these. 12 grams of protein in a yogurt. And between your protein shake and this in the morning, it really helps you get the energy to go about your day. Now, not a lot of energy because, let's be real, I had surgery a week ago. Still kind of struggling with the energy thing, right? But definitely helps. And so if you guys have found any that don't have the fruit pieces in it that are really good, that you guys enjoy, please share them below and let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for some new stuff, because I have a whole nother week that these are going to be my life. So the protein shakes really help with getting not only the protein, obviously, but they count towards your fluid intake. And right now, fluid intake is so important because dehydration. My stomach's 4 ounces. So I can't go and pick up my drink and chug it like I used to when I was thirsty. I have to constantly sip. And it's really easy to forget to do that, right? Because, I'm trying to keep myself busy, distract myself from the fact that I'm hungry. But talking about that, it's a very weird feeling. I'm hungry, I think. And I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. I don't know if I think I'm supposed to be eating or that I'm actually hungry, because when I really stop to think about it, I'm not hungry. I feel like I'm supposed to be eating. So this is a really, really crucial part of this, and why a lot of people like myself has got to this point of, I always feel like I have to be eating, right? So I'm sorry, I just took my meds, and if you have to crush stuff up and drink it, it leaves this weird taste in your mouth. So excuse me for 1 second. weird taste in your mouth with trying to crush up medication. But I think I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry. It's that feeling of I think I'm supposed to be eating, but I can't eat. So then it's like, then you're really thinking about it. But in all honesty, I'm not hungry. Which is another reason for the protein, because the protein is going to make you feel full. So you're not constantly wanting to eat. Right now, it's the habit you're breaking. The habit of, oh, well, it's morning time, I'm supposed to be eating, or it's lunchtime, shouldn't I be eating? But listening to my body telling me, no, you don't have to eat, you're not hungry, and that's okay. So I really try to do a protein shake at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. Now I know this one is 30 grams, but they do have some that are only like 12 grams. I think the strawberry one is like 12 or 15. So I usually do one of those for lunch. So I'm not getting crazy amounts of protein, which don't really think is a bad thing, but you just want to make sure you're following under those guidelines, and everybody's doctor has different guidelines, so please follow yours. Mine is at least 60 grams of protein a day, so that's what I try to stay around. I do get more between the yogurts and the protein shakes, and but it seems to be okay for me. So just follow your doctor's rules on that, and do what you're supposed to do, okay? But I kind of wanted to talk about that, and I'm sorry, this medication is really gross, but I've made it a week. And I am down exactly 20 pounds, which seems crazy to me. 20 pounds would take so much more work for me, but in the past. I used to go and work out, go to like Zumba classes and eat really healthy and try to go on walks, and 1 pound in a week. Or sometimes nothing, and it's just, I know it can get frustrating, because I know it did for me. To see 20 pounds in a week is like crazy. But I have to remember that it's 20 pounds because I'm not doing anything but drinking protein shakes and eating yogurt. I have cut out a lot of the broth due to the sodium levels, even the low sodium, 520 milligrams of sodium. It's a lot for me personally, because I was someone who had to take fluid pills prior to the surgery. So I took fluid pills prior to the surgery because there's a thing in my family. My mother had it, my grandmother had it, and where we retain fluid. So I really have to watch that, and I think that scares me, which is why I'm having trouble getting some of my fluid in, because right now I can't take my fluid pill, and I don't want to swell up and have the pain that I was having before when I couldn't take it. But I'm really trying to push through that fear and get my fluid intake. And so far, I haven't had any problems with the swelling. And I'm getting about 45 to 50 ounces of water a day. That is between the sugar-free popsicles, the protein shakes, Gatorade, and actual water. I am one that just doesn't like the taste of water. So I do have flavor packs that I use. And there are so many sugar-free flavor packs out there to find one that you really like, between Crystal Light, I have one that is actually Skittles, and they taste like Skittles, and it is 100% sugar free. I found it on Amazon. I'll leave the link below, and they have all the different Skittle flavors, and I love them. I've been drinking them for probably over a year now. So it's really up to you and what you like. And you can do different type of sweeteners and stuff like that, but to me, I don't think they need them. My favorite is the pineapple one. It's really good. But so you really just kind of have to find things that work for you and that you like, right? Something that has really helped me is that there is an app. It is called Berrytastic. And I think this is a great app, even if you're not having bariatric surgery. And the reason why I think it's a great app is because you can take the app, and instead of having to read all the labels, which you should, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't read labels, right? But instead of having to read all the labels and do this and do that, I literally has an option that I push the button and I scan the barcode on whatever I eat, and it uploads all the information that I need, and it saves it. So every time I drink one of these shakes, I just go to my history, pull it up, and it logs it. And I think that's amazing. Trying to go in there, I mean, I've done the Weight Watchers in the past, and I've tried to write down all the food that I eat, and it's really hard for me. Because I don't want to have to write down every single thing I eat or every single thing I drink. And that's why dieting with that really didn't work for me. Now, I'm sure it works for some people, and I think that's great. But doing this process, writing down everything, is super important, because I have to track my fluid intake. I have to track the protein to make sure I'm getting it. Keeping a food log is required by my doctor in this program. So I have found this notebook. I found it on Amazon. It's called the Food and Health Journal, and I will try to link it below. I'm still trying to learn how to do that, so bear with me. If I can't get it and you're interested, leave a comment below and I can give you the link. But on this, it has where you list everything, and you list your calories, fat, sodium, carbs, sugar, fiber, and protein. So it has all right there, and at the end of the day, you mark it all out. On this side, which I really, really like, on this side it has my today goals, stuff that I want to get. This was my yesterday. I wanted 2,000 steps, and I wanted to increase my drinking. For the first time in the week since my surgery, I actually got over 2,000 steps. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but again, I just had major surgery a week ago, so 2,700 steps, which I got yesterday, was a lot for me. And then it has physical activity, so I can mark down things that I've done. I did some the elastic band exercises, so that was really good for me. And then it has the vitamins and the supplements that I have to take right now. Right now, I am on the Zofran for nausea, which I did not take yesterday, and I have not taken today, which is, I'm really proud of myself. And the Tylenol, because I'm allergic to Percocet, and it seems to be that family of drug is what they send you home with this surgery. So because of that, I got sent home and told to go get some Tylenol. Which honestly, I'm not mad at, because it has worked for me. They have liquid Tylenol, and they have, which I have found really helpful, they have these little packets of Tylenol, which is powder. It says that it's berry flavor. It kind of is, it tastes like a pixie stick at first, and then you kind of get like a little medicine aftertaste, but it's really not that bad. And these are really good for like when I go back to work and stuff like that, that I can just kind of throw in my purse and have with me. So really glad to find these. And then I take the blood thinner, the Levenox. Now, that is a shot that I have to give myself twice a day. And let me tell you, that's not fun. It's not fun. They tell you about it, but unless you've done it, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I'm really excited at the fact that I only have 2 left. Now, this really excites me because I have one tonight and I have one tomorrow morning, and then I am done. And this is how they come packaged. They already have all the medicine in here that you need. And you just pop them out of this thing because they're sealed, and take the cap off and little needles in there, and then you give yourself the shot. Surprisingly, the needle is so small, you feel it, but you don't feel it. What they don't tell you about, however, is the bruising. I feel like I've got this connect the dot thing, almost kind of maybe like a constellation going on, where I've done these shots, and it is all nice and green and yellow with some purples in there, you know, really pretty colors, right? Almost kind of like Mardi Gras going on. But you know, it's part of it. I mean, and they're blood thinners, right? That's kind of what they're made to do. Just remember with the shots, don't put them in your trash. If you do, you collect them. I just kind of got a mason jar and I've been putting them in here. So when I'm done, and the good thing with these 2, the kind that I got, okay, I'm not sure if this is everybody, but when you get done, you push it and there's this little thing that covers the needles, so you don't have exposed needles anywhere. But wherever pharmacy you get them, I got mine at CVS. I can actually take these when I'm done and bring them back up there, and they will dispose of them. And I think that's really important because you don't want these in landfills. You don't want them anywhere. I mean, I live out in the country, so we don't even have trash pickup. We have to take our trash. But still, all that stuff goes somewhere, and you don't want that stuff. So find out from your pharmacy when you pick them up if you have to have these, if they will take the syringes back when you're done. So you don't have to worry about trying to throw those away, because I just don't think those should be out there, right? Other than that, that's pretty much, I take my shot, and they do have me on omeprazole, which is basically prescription strength, what is it? I don't remember. It's for heartburn and indigestion, ulcers, that kind of thing. I do have to take those for 6 months. They are capsules that I have to break open. I have found that trying to put them in yogurt is the best thing. And that's kind of what I'm still tasting right now, because you can try to mask it all you want, but I mean, it's still medicine, right? So, but I think this is really good because I can track when I take it. I can track if I even take it or don't take it, especially the first couple of days with the Tylenol. It really helped me figure out when I could take my next dose. And then when I start eating again, they have food sensitivity and observations on eating habits. So this is going to be important because our bodies are changing, and things that we used to eat, we may not be able to eat again. Even though we can eat them, maybe our bodies aren't going to like us to. And it's good to keep track of that, because you don't know if it's just a one-time thing or if it's going to happen again. So, you know, you just keep a record of it. And I kind of like that food journal has all that in there, right? So it's a quick reference that I can go back and I can look at, and I can talk to my doctor about when we have our follow-up appointments and everything, about stuff and how it made me feel, and is that normal, or, you know, Is that something that I need to pay attention to? So I think that's important. So, the only other thing that has really been helping me is journaling. Every night I sit down and I write a little bit about how I'm feeling, about any type of experience that I had that day, pain, or anything, like just anything I want to journal about. Because this is a very emotional time, right? Our bodies are changing. It's messing with our hormones, so our hormones are changing, and for us women, that's very important to keep in mind, right? Because we don't have control over that. So, gentlemen, I know it affects you too, but please remember with us that, it's really going to affect us. So journaling, just a little bit. Like, I don't journal a lot. I just write a little bit each day about how I'm feeling. I think this is a great notebook. This is actually, I mean, you can use anything. I chose to use a happy planner that has these little boxes every day, so I can go in and just write a little bit, and that way I don't feel obligated to write a whole bunch. I just kind of fill it out with some basic stuff. It's basically a diary, but it helps me get my thoughts out on paper. It helps me with different things on how I'm feeling, kind of keeping track of that stuff. And I think that's important. And, maybe some people that wouldn't help, but I think it does help me. So, and that way I know different things that was going on at the time that I can go back and reference to, or maybe a year from now I talk to somebody and I can be like, I was going through that same thing, and maybe these are some things that helped me that I'm not going to remember, but because I wrote it down, I will. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. But I will try to link those below. I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting tired and winded, but I will try to leave down the information on the Barrietastic app. Like I said, which I think is a great app, whether you do this or not, because it tracks everything for you. You can track your water. I link it to my Fitbit, so it tracks my exercising, my calories burned. And I think it's a great tool. We talked about the lovely shots that I have to take and the different types of proteins. But if you know of any other proteins out there that are really good, please comment below on those. I have a whole nother week of this kind of liquid diet, so some variety would be amazing. So please let me know. Or if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will get back to you. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and log off and go sit back down, because for some reason I'm getting winded and starting to hurt a little bit. But the biggest thing is, I was talking to a friend yesterday. If you're going through this, be kind to yourself and remember, just had surgery, and this is really hard for myself specifically. I got up and tried to clean and do laundry yesterday, and then I'm like, oh man, I'm getting winded, my stomach's hurting, and I've only been up 30 minutes, and I started getting upset with myself that I couldn't do more. But again, be kind to yourself. We just had major surgery. And that's something that I have to keep reminding myself. I'm doing great, and I need to continue, again, like I said, be kind to myself. And remember that I'm doing good and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and trust this process. and it will work out. And I think that's something that we all have to remember, whether you do this or not. Be kind to yourself. You know what you're going through. You know what you need and what you don't, and what you can and cannot do. So just be kind. Okay? Bye, guys.